Hello there, welcome to another one of my videos. This time I wanted to give you a quick update, so 6 monthly update on what's been happening with my Porsche Boxster S 987 Gen 1 throughout really the first 6 months of 2020. So to do that, I thought the best way to do it is let's take it for a drive and I can tell you how the year's gone so far. Okay, let's take it for a drive, shall we? And I'll tell you everything that's been happening over the last 6 or so months. So what's happened in the last 6 months with the Porsche then? Well, it's had a really quiet time. The car went off the road about October, November time. I put it into sort of the garage for the deepest, darkest winter months for about 3 months, and then it came back out on the 1st of March. We had a couple of great weeks in the car, and then COVID-19 pandemic hit, and I think we all know what happened there, and the country went into lockdown, and so it only got a handful of a few hundred miles in that short period of time. We then went back off the road again, so it was sawned for another couple of months until we got out of lockdown, and so it's only recently in the last handful of weeks been back out onto the road. And I must admit that the two big spells in storage or in the garage, sometimes cars generally like to be driven, and sometimes you get a few niggles and problems when cars have been off the road for a few months. But I have to say, not the Porsche. It's come after both spells. It's on the CTEK MX 5.0 for information on in the garage, plugged in there permanently, and battery tender. And it's come out of both spells in the garage absolutely great. Just do the normal wash, clean, make sure it's dry, put an internal cover on, overinflate the tyres, standard things really. And it's come through 100% reliability, no issues at all. And the one thing I must admit that it has done is it's I think I've bonded more with the Porsche Boxster since we've had these two spells without driving it. I think absence has made me sort of the heart grow fonder. I'm falling back in love with what I loved about the Porsche when I first bought it. I can remember the video I did a few months ago on my 12-month verdict of the car, and I just said it's just a bit too good, it's just a little bit too clinical. Well, do you know what? You can't fault the car. I mean, it's so practicable. You can use it as a daily. A lot of people do use them as dailies. I just think that if I did that, and I'm feeling fortunate position that I don't need to, but I think if I did that, I might just find it just a little bit too good. But I must admit, I get back here, driving position spot on, it feels on its toes, it feels light, the steering feels direct, the weight distribution through the corners is absolutely brilliant. You can really play with this car, and it's everything you really, really want in a sports car. And for the majority of time, the 280 brake horsepower that this car's got is more than enough for road use. One thing I do not tire of is this though. I absolutely love that. One thing I've noticed recently, having just got back in the car, is, and I don't know what everyone else's views are, is that obviously it's got the Porsche rev counter right in the middle, just where you want to see it, and actually I absolutely love the way Porsche put the rev counter in the middle. And for speed, it's just a digital speed directly below the rev counter. The sort of the speedo on the left is it's just almost unusable. It's the increments are so small and tiny. They make such a. I mean, it's probably 1/8 of a circle before you get into illegal speeds. So almost the rev counter, the analog rev counter, almost is just not. It's just useless really in a Porsche. I drove one of my favourite B roads just a couple of days ago in this, and it's about 6 or 7 miles long. It's a twisting left and right, up and down, a few compressions along the way in this car, and that sort of a live direct steering. The road beat it up a little bit actually. There was quite a lot of camber in some of the corners, and the 987 was tracking quite badly through some of the corners and on some of the straights, and a few potholes, and it sort of just unsettled it a little bit. Now I'm not sure if that's because of the 19-inch alloys, but yeah, I just slowed down progress a little bit. And it was only about a week or so ago I took my Mercedes SL500 on exactly the same road, and it just seemed to sort of swallow up those bumps and compressions and the cambers in the road that much better. Now I don't know if that was to do with the SL500's, that only wears 18-inch, not 19-inch alloys like the 987, or whether it's because it's actually a much heavier car, it's over 400 kilos heavier, and maybe the extra weight just were able to sort of null some of those sensations down. It's certainly not as alive and direct as the 987, but I would like to do sort of an unofficial test down that same bit of road, because I just feel that it probably suits the 500 that bit better than the 987, and the 500 just felt a little bit quicker than the 987, which really surprised me, because clearly the 987's that much quicker car, because it's got, although it's a little bit down on power, it's significantly lighter. Certainly brings a smile to your face. Wow. On this smooth B road, it absolutely is so direct. The feeling, the balance of the car is absolutely fabulous. And hard on the brakes, and those brakes in the 987 are fantastic. I like that. The other thing that annoys me about this car is it's on the key fob. It's the one button to lock, and then you press it again to unlock. And last night we went out for a meal, and we got out of the car, and then we'd forgot something, so we went back into the car, and I pressed it a couple of times, and I know the lights flash, I think it's once to unlock and twice I think to unlock, but the sun was out, I couldn't really see the lights flashing, and I'd pressed it so many times I couldn't remember if the car's locked or unlocked. And a simple thing, and why don't Porsche give you flipping 2 buttons, one to lock and one to unlock? And I actually had to check the door handle to make sure the car was locked. And when you sort of say, it's just, I don't know, small little things like that, just yeah, come on Porsche, make it simple. Well, there we go. So it's been a really quiet time for the last period, for the last 6 months, due to obviously winter and the bad weather that we had, and all the rain actually we had in, I think it was January, February, just flooding everywhere, and then that brief stint in March, and then we've had unprecedented times for the last 4 months with COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown, and now things are being eased and we're getting back into our cars again, and the absence has made the heart grow fonder in this case, because I look back at the verdict that I did after owning the car for 12 months, and and I said, look, it's just too clinical. It's just a car I can't fall in love with because it's almost just too good. Well, do you know what? I've got back in and I've fallen back in love with this car like the first time I used it and drove it, and it's great again. I'm just absolutely buzzing from this car again. It just feels alive. It feels the sensations. Everything's pumped up to sort of 9 out of 10. Whereas the SL's lazy nature, GT nature is more a sort of 6 and 7. The cruiser, the big cruiser that to smash long distances. This is alive, and it's probably harder work. I think the B road that I mentioned, where it was harder work in this because it was a badly surfaced road, cambers and dips, and you felt alive. And again, compared to the SL500, it really monstered that sort of road. And that would be a really good comparable test around that B road, which I'd have thought the 987 would smash. I think certainly if it's smoother tarmac, lots of twists and turns, and this is just going to absolutely smash the SL500. But yeah, I may do one of those comparisons down that same bit of road, and that would be a really good comparison. Clearly, it would be within the remits of the law, and there'll be nothing official, and I won't post any times, but indicatively we'll see which is quicker down there. So let's hope the next 6 months brings lots more use out of this Boxster S, and I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, I'm doing lots of other videos and lots of other cars, so please keep watching, give me the thumbs up, please subscribe, because I'll be posting another video very, very soon.